विदिश्याम जन्म जन्मनि अनर्पितचरं चिरात् करणावतीर्णा कलौ समर्पयितुमुन्नतुरसां समर्पि श्रियं हरिपुरटसुन्दरद्विति कदम्ब सन्दीपितः सदा हृदयकन्दरे स्मृत्वा शिशिनन्दना. First of all, offer my millions of obeisances to lotus feet of Asmati Guru Pad Padma Nitala President Guru Shishimad Bhakti-Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Offer obeisances to lotus feet of Triranti Swami Shishimad Bhakti-Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, Bhakti-Vedanta Vikram Goswami Maharaj, Shishimad Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Maharaj, Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, Shripad Bhakti-Vedanta Dandi Maharaj, Namnishta Santa Shri Aniruddhas Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. So, actually, I was giving a Bhagavad-gita class and in Hindi on Sunday, 8 o'clock, but not much
Sorry,
attendance
Maharaj,
was.
you're a bit soft. Can you put it a bit loud, please? Thank you.
Actually, I was giving class on Sunday, 8 o'clock, but not much attendance was there. So, at least 5-6 people are attending today. I'm very happy. And through the recording, it will reach some more WhatsApp groups and others. So, basically, long time ago, I used to give class on Bhagavad-gita. There was one devotee, he told me, give classes, South African devotee. Maharaj, why don't you speak on Bhagavad-gita? That time, technology was not so advanced. So, it was a phone call or I don't remember, maybe Skype or something. And I used to give classes, online classes, Bhagavad-gita. I did a course. And then that is how that devotee invited us, Vishnupada Dandi Maharaj. He invited me, but then I said, what will I do alone? So I must take a senior Vaishnava to attend the class, to give the classes. So Shripad Dandi Maharaj came and then we came to contact with Jamuna Titi and then all of you also became Murari Prabhu and all. So it was all with Bhagavad Gita classes. South African tour happened. So I really thank Bhagavad Gita because still it is the bread and butter stuff, Bhagavad Gita. Am I audible now? Are you able to hear what I'm saying?
Yes, Maharaj, we can hear you, but it's a bit soft. That's it.
It's soft. Okay. Maybe this because let me see. Hare Krishna. Is it okay now? Hari Bol? Hari Bol? Hare Krishna.
Yes, ma'am.
It's okay?
Yes.
Okay. So, the glories of Srimad Bhagavad Gita from Sri Vaishnavya Tantra Sar. I want to start with the glories of Bhagavad Gita because when we hear the glories, we feel like reading Bhagavad Gita every day. The sages said, O Sutta, please tell us the glories of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. As expressed long ago at Narayan Kshetra by the great sage Shri Vyasadeva. So this one actually, Gita, the hidden treasure, this particular book, which I am going to send to Vishada and she can circulate among all of you. It is from SCS Gaudiya Math, Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Gaudiya Math. They have a branch also in South Africa, KwaZulu-Natal, some place they have a branch. So, I am reading from that, the Gita's Mahatmya. Please tell us about the glories of Srimad Bhagavad Gita as expressed long ago at Narayan Kshetra by the great sage Shri Vyasadeva. Sutta Goswami said, O Venerable One, your request is most auspicious. Indeed, who can describe the transcendental glories of Sri Gita, the most hidden of all treasures? Certainly, Lord Krishna is in full knowledge of those glories. And so Arjuna, the son of Kunti, knows of them. And Vyasadeva, Shukadeva, Yajnavalkya, and the saintly King Janak too. Others too, who have heard but a little of the glories of the Sri Gita, are engaged in singing them. And so I shall now speak of the glories of Sri Gita as I heard them from Vyasadeva. All the Upanishads are personified as the cow. Sri Krishna is the milker of the cow. And Arjuna is the calf. The nectar of the Gita is the milk, and the fortunate devotees are the enjoyers of the milk. I first offer my obeisances unto Lord Sri Krishna, who accepted the position of the chariot driver of Arjuna, just to distribute this nectar of the Gita for the benefit of the three worlds. A person desiring to cross the treacherous ocean of material suffering can do so very easily by taking refuge in the boat of the Bhagavad-gita. A foolish person who desires liberation by constant yoga practice without hearing the wisdom of the Gita is to be considered childish. Persons who day and night hear and sing the Gita are never to be taken as mere human beings. Without doubt, they are as gods in this world. To enlighten Arjuna with the wisdom of the Gita, Lord Krishna Chandra has revealed the supremacy of devotion, either in the world or in the transcendental plane. Thus, the wisdom of the Gita is a ladder of 18 chapters, ascending which one rises above sense enjoyment and liberation, mukti, and gradually attains purification of the heart and the qualification of loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Bathing in the pure waters of the Gita, the devotees are liberated from the contamination of the mundane world. However, persons lacking faith in the Lord may attempt this, but in vain, like an elephant's bathing. The elephant immediately rolls in the dust after bathing. A person who knows nothing of learning and teaching the Gita fails in the duty of the human being. Therefore, there is none more fallen than he who is ignorant of the teachings of the Gita. Shame on his human birth, his learning, his dignity, and his entire family. There is none more fallen than he who is ignorant of the meaning of the Gita. Shame on his bodily beauty, his character, his wealth, and his home. There is none more fallen than he who is ignorant of the scripture Bhagavad-gita. Shame on his undertakings, his reputation, his worship, his charity, and his honor. A person who does not care for the Gita scripture is to be known as a failure in all respects. Shame on his teacher, his vows, his faith, his austerity, and his renown. There is none more fallen than he who does not study the purport of the Gita. And that knowledge which is not glorified in the Gita should be known as demoniac, futile, unvirtuous, and rejected by the Vedas and the Upanishads. Therefore, the holy name is universally respected as the compilation of the essence of all scriptures and the source of all wisdom. One who studies the Gita on the holy festival days of the advent of the Supreme Lord and on the holy fasting days, especially Ekadashi, such a person, whether awake or asleep, moving or still, is never defeated by enemies. Now, this is a very important thing actually. One who studies the Gita on the holy festival days of the advent of the Supreme Lord and on the holy fasting days, especially Ekadashi, such a person, whether awake or asleep, moving or still, is never defeated by enemies. So this one, actually, I was compiling an Ekadashi book. I'm going to put this verse in that one. Because Ekadashi day, Yo adhite Vishnu parva he Gitam Shri Harivasare Swapanjagarat Chalam Tishtam Shatruvirna Hiyate. Amazing verse. This is the beauty of the Sanskrit language. Wow. This is in English. Yo adhite, last verse, 20th verse. Yo adhite Vishnu parva he Gitam Shri Harivasare Swapanjagarat Chalam Tishtam Shatruvir Nasahiyate. Yo adhite Vishnu parva he Gitam Shri Harivasare Swapanjagarat Chalam Tishtam Shatruvir Nasahiyate. So here it is, very amazing verse. So One who sings the Gita before the Shaligram Shila deity, or in the temple of the Supreme Lord, or in a temple of Lord Shiva at a holy place of pilgrimage, or on the bank of a holy river, certainly such a person attains to all good fortune. Neither the singing of the Vedas nor the performance of charity, sacrifice, pilgrimage, or vows can bring such satisfaction to Krishna, the son of Devaki, as does the singing of the Gita. The study of the Vedas and Puranas, verily the study of all the scriptures, is fulfilled in all respects by one who studies the Gita with devotion. The highest perfection of life is attained by one who sings the Gita at a place of yoga meditation, at a place of worship before the Shaligram Shila or in the association of saintly persons. During a sacrifice and before a devotee of Vishnu. One who daily hears and sings the Gita is to be considered as having accomplished the performance of all sacrifices such as the Ashwamedh and others, including the receiving of the sacrificial gifts. One who attentively hears and sings the glories of the purport of the Gita or reiterates it to others attains to the supreme destination. One who with respect and devotion and according to scriptural directives makes a gift of this holy book, the Gita, such a person's wife will be devoted. My goodness. This is what is said here. Can't believe. One who with respect and devotion and according to scriptural directives makes a gift of this holy book, the Gita, such a person's wife will be devoted. His wife will follow his order apparently. Understand? That is a big problem. A lot of people complain, my wife doesn't follow me, so he should distribute Gitas. Gitaya pustakam shuddham yo arpayati eva sadarat vidina bhakti bhavena tasya bharya priya bhavet. If you don't believe me, I'll show you the verse. I'm not making it up. You see here. Suppose your wife is always fighting with you, then you have to distribute this book. Verse number 27. Gitaya pustakam shuddham yorpayati eva sadarat vidina bhakti bhavena tasya bharya priya bhavet. I think this is a solution to the modern divorce problem. Fighting, family discord. So all will solve if you distribute Gitas. Amazing. And without a doubt, he shall enjoy fame, fortune, and good health. He shall enjoy the affection of those dear to him. He shall know the highest happiness. The sorrow caused by a terrible curse or black rites can never enter the home where the Gita is worshipped. A lot of people actually they ask me this question that black magic, this, that, or someone has cursed me and this and that. But where Gita is worshipped, that house black magic will not work. In that house, there is never suffering of the threefold miseries, nor fear of any illness, curse, sin, misfortune, or hellish existence. In that house, no one is ever afflicted with infectious diseases, and the residents attain undeviating devotion in service to the lotus feet of the Lord Sri Krishna. A person devoted to singing the Gita acquires a friendly disposition to all living beings. Despite the desirable and undesirable reactions of his past actions. He is liberated, he is happy, he is never implicated by his actions. Even if perchance that person who studies the Gita commits terrible sin, he is unaffected as the lotus feet, as the lotus leaf that remains untouched even by even a drop of water. Whether the inauspiciousness of wrong action or malevolent speech of eating unacceptable food or touching the untouchable or seen knowingly or unknowingly, Contracted through the senses in the course of daily activities, all evils are immediately dispelled by singing the Gita with devotion. One sincerely devoted to singing the Gita is never implicated despite accepting the food in all places or gifts in all kinds of circumstances. One who takes unlawful possessions of the entire earth full of jewels, he too will be innocent by singing the Gita but once. His heart will be as clear as crystal. A person whose heart is ever joyfully absorbed in the Gita is to be considered fully accomplished in sacrifices, always in prayer, perfect in his actions, and truly learned. All are benefited simply by seeing him. He is glorious, he is a yogi, and he is wise. He is a knower of sacrifice, he is engaged in sacrifice, and he is a knower of the purport of all the Vedas. All the holy places in this world, such as Prayag and others, are present wherever the holy book of the Gita is present and sung constantly. For one who constantly studies the Gita, the demigods, sages, and yogis will reside as guardians in the body, even at a time of death. Now, Bhagwan is telling something. Um, Wherever the Gita is sung, the gracious cowherd boy Shri Krishna swiftly appears as a friend, accompanied by his associate Narad and Dhruva and others. Wherever the Gita scripture is discussed, studied, and taught, the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna comes with great joy, accompanied by Srimati Radharani. The Supreme Lord said, O Partha, the Gita is my heart, the Gita is my supreme essence, and the Gita is the most powerful, imperishable knowledge of me. The Gita is my supreme place, the Gita is my The Gita is my supreme essence. The Gita is the most powerful and imperishable knowledge of me. The Gita is my supreme place, and Gita is my supreme plane. The Gita is my most hidden treasure. The Gita is my supreme teacher. I am present within the Gita, and the Gita is my supreme abode. I maintain the three worlds by the eternal wisdom of the Gita. The Gita is my transcendental wisdom, my own self, conveyed by every letter and comprised of eternally ineffable verses. O Pandava, I shall tell you the holy names of the Gita. By singing these names, one is immediately absolved of all sins. Hear now those confidential names from me. Gita's names. What are the names of Gita? Ganga, Gita, Savitri, Sita, Satya, Pativrata, Brahmavali, Brahmavidya, Trisandhya, Mukta Gehini, Ardhamatra, Chidananda, Bhavagni, Prantinashini, Vedatrai, Parananda, Tattvartha, Jnana Manjari. One who with unflickering mind regularly chants these confidential holy names achieves perfection in divine knowledge and finally reaches the supreme destination. If one is unable to sing the entire Gita, half of it should be sung. Then without doubt the piety gained by making a gift of cows will be attained. One who will achieve the fruit of the Soma sacrifice by singing one third of the Gita. And the result of bathing in the Ganges is achieved by chanting a sixth of it. One who unfailingly sings two of its chapters every day will surely attain residence in the abode of Lord Indra for 1 millennium. One who sings with devotion one chapter daily will be recognized as an associate of Lord Shiva and he will attain residence in the abode of Lord Shiva for immeasurable time. A person who daily sings one half or only one quarter of a chapter will achieve residence in the abode of the sun for the time of an 100 manus. A person faithfully sings 10, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2 verses, one or only half a verse of the Gita will attain residence on the moon for 10,000 years. Hari Bol. So basically, if you sing only half a verse of Gita, you will be able to stay on the moon for 10,000 years. Talk about some billionaire, what's his name? Trying to go to the moon and spacecrafts and all that stuff, paying so much money. You can only sing half verse of Bhagavad-gita and you're all set for 10,000 years on the moon. Understand? So one who at the time of leaving the body remembers half the Gita, a quarter of the Gita, one chapter or only one verse of the Gita, he reaches the supreme destination. Go straight to Vaikuntha. By singing or hearing the purport of the Gita at the time of death, even a greatly sinful person qualifies for liberation. One who's touching the holy book of the Gita at the time of leaving the body will attain to Vaikuntha and joyfully reside in the association of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. One whose concentration is intent on just one chapter of the Gita will attain a human birth after death. Then again studying the Gita, he achieves the ultimate liberation. One who utters the word Gita at the time of death attains his life's fulfillment. All actions performed along with the singing of the Gita become purified and successful. A person who sings the Gita during the performance of obsequial ceremonies satisfies his forefathers, who, being liberated from a hellish existence, ascend to heaven. Satisfied by the offerings, accompanied by the singing of the Gita, the ancestors offer their descendant their blessings and ascend to the heavenly plane known as Pitraloka. A person who makes a gift of a book of the Gita with a yak-tail whisk achieves success in all his endeavors that day. One who makes a gift of a book of the Gita along with the presentation of gold to a learned Brahmana never takes birth in the material world again. One who makes a gift of 100 copies of the Gita attains to the plane of the absolute, wherefrom rebirth practically never occurs. By the potency of making a gift of the Gita, one attains residence in the abode of Lord Vishnu for 7 millenniums and joyfully associates with the Supreme Lord Vishnu. One who attentively hears the purport of the Gita and makes a gift of that book to the Brahmana, he brings satisfaction to the Supreme Lord, who blesses him with the fulfillment of all his aspirations. A person who neither sings nor hears the nectarian Gita is like one who has nectar in his hand yet leaves it aside to drink poison. When persons suffering in this world of death, discover the wisdom of the Gita and drink the nectar of the Gita, they take refuge in the devotion for the Supreme Lord and become truly happy. Many saintly kings such as King Janak and others took shelter in the wisdom of the Gita and becoming purified of all sins, achieved the supreme destination. Neither high or nor low birth qualifies or disqualifies a faithful person in the singing of the Gita. And since all kinds of knowledge, the Gita is the embodiment of Brahman and equal to all. A person who out of egoism and pride blasphemes the Gita will have to reside in terrible hell up to the time of the universal annihilation. The foolish person who, deluded by egoism, disregards the purport of the Gita must remain boiling in oil in the hell known as Kumbipak until the annihilation at the end of the millennium. One who makes such of speaking the purport of the Gita yet never properly hears about it, repeatedly takes birth as a hog. A person who obtains the book of Gita by theft is unsuccessful in all his endeavors, and even his attempt to sing the Gita will be in vain. One who, hearing the Gita, does not experience spiritual joy, his life is fruitless and like the labor of one deluded. To please the Supreme Lord, after hearing the Gita, one should offer gold, food, silken cloth to a Vaishnava Brahmana. To satisfy the Supreme Lord Hari, one must worship the speaker of the Gita with devotion offering him cloth and many worshipful presentations. Sutta Goswami said these eternal glories of the Gita are sung by the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna himself. One who sings the glories of the Gita on the completion of singing the Gita can partake of the fruits of the Gita as mentioned here. The attempt to sing the Gita is but fruitless labor for a person who neglects to conclude with singing the glories of the Gita. One who with heart's faith hears or sings the Gita, complete with the glories of the Gita, reaches the supreme destination. One who with faith hears this meaningful Gita, song of divine, and hears in conclusion the glories of the Gita, shall reap the fruits of virtue in this world, and his life will be filled with joy. Thus is completed the glories of the Gita from Shri Vaishnava Tantra Sar. Thus is completed Bhagavad-gita, the hidden treasure of the Supreme Absolute Truth. May Shri Krishna mercifully accept this offering. So basically, we heard the glories of Bhagavad-gita, and it will encourage us to study Bhagavad-gita. If not full verse, at least half verse, one verse, two verses, five verses, how much we can cover. There is no loss and diminution because Bhagavad-gita is very, very powerful. Now, there is another Mangala Charan meant for Bhagavad-gita. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratita Purana Munina Madhya Mahabharatam Advaitamrita Varshinim. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratita Purana Munina Madhya Mahabharatam Advaitamrita Varshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaധ്യായിനിം Ambatvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad-gita Bhavadvishinim Namostute Vyasa Vishal Buddhe Fullar Vindayata Patra Netra Yanatve Bharata Taila Purana Prajulito Mahadina Prajulito Jnanamaya Pradipam Prapanna Parijataya Totravatreka Panaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gitamrita Namaha. So these are all the verses glorifying Bhagavad-gita. Bhagavad-gita Mahatmya. सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दुग्धा गोपाल नंदना पार्थो वत्सा सुधीर भुक्ता दुग्धम गीतामृतम मान वसुदेव सुतम देवम कंसचाणूरमर्दनम देवकी परमानंदम कृष्णम वंदे जगद्गुरुम भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनिलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवति कृपेण वाणी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थाम विकर्ण घोरमकरा दुर्योधना वर्तिनी सुत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरनदी प्रवर्तका केशवा पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीताङ्गदन्दोद्घटम् नानाख्यानकेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधिता सम्बोधना बोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैर्हरिः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे यं ब्रह्मा वरुणरुद्रमरुतविस्तुवन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैर्वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदः गायन्ति यः सामगाः ध्यानावस्थितगतेन मनसो पश्यन्ति तं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुरुसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. O Bhagavad Gita, song of the Supreme Lord himself, you are the bestower of Arjun's enlightenment. You have been woven into the scripture Mahabharata by the ancient sage Srila Vyasadeva. In 18 chapters, you are the rain of ever-flowing nectar, non different from the Lord. O Mother, I made it upon you. May you graciously enter in my heart. Obeisance to Sri Vyasadeva. O Sri the Vyasadeva of formidable intelligence, whose eyes resemble the long petals of the blooming lotus flower, and who ignited the lamp of knowledge filled with the oil of Mahabharata, offer my humble obeisance unto you. obeisances unto the Lord as the chariot driver of Arjuna. I offer my obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, who fulfills the wishes of his surrendered devotees. He who holds us, the having rod, in one hand, while the other is poised in the expression of instruction. And he is the milker of the nectar of Gita, the glories of the Gita. The crystals of the Vedas and all the Upanishads are as the cow, and the milker of the cow is Lord Shri Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj. Arjuna is the calf, the nectar of the Gita is the milk, and the fortunate devotees are the enjoyers of that milk. Obeisance unto Lord Krishna. I bow down to the lotus feet of Shri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the vanquisher of the demons Kamsa and Chanura, the joy of Mother Devaki and the universal teacher. The river of the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Our one bank is Bhishma, the other Dronacharya. Jayadratha is the water, the son of Gandhari, the blue lotus flower. Shalya, the crocodile. Krupa, the waves. Karna, the shore. Ashwatthama, Vikarna and company, the fearful sharks. So, the Mahabharata as a lotus flower. These words of Shri Krishna Deva and Vedi Vyasadeva, the son of the Parashar Muni, are a perfect lotus flower. The meaning of the Gita is the beautiful fragrance of this lotus. The various episodes are its stamens, and the enlightening narrations about the Supreme Lord are its nectar. In this world, the pure devotees are the bees who, day after day, delight in drinking the nectar of the lotus flower. May this Mahabharata lotus, the vanquisher of all evils in this age of Kali, graciously bestow auspiciousness upon us. Obeisance unto the Supreme Lord. Offer my obeisances unto the Supreme Lord, whose glories are sung with celestial prayers by the gods Brahma and Varuna. So I offer my obeisance unto the Supreme Lord, whose glories are sung with celestial prayers by the gods Brahma, Varuna, Indra, Rudra, and the Maruts, whose glories are sung by the verses of the Vedas, along with their along with six auxiliary books and Upanishads, and whose glories are sung by the Brahmanas that sing the Sama Veda, who the yogis see within their hearts, absorbed in meditation, and whose infinite glories are inconceivable to all beings, whether gods or demons. Before reciting the scriptures that can conquer material existence, we may offer obeisance unto the Supreme Lord, who is known as Narayan. Narayan, the goddess of learning, Saraswati, and the great sage Narayan and Narottam, the goddess of learning. Before reciting the scriptures that can conquer material existence, we offer obeisances unto the Supreme Lord, who is known as Narayan, Nara and Narottam, the goddess of learning Saraswati, and the great sage empowered by the Lord to reveal the scriptures, Srila Vyasadeva. So, we'll now begin the real Bhagavad-gita. Introduction from Srila Gurudev's book. Srimad Bhagavad-gita is composed by Srimad Krishna Deva and Vyasadeva, the universal teacher and an incarnation of Bhagavan. It constitutes 18 chapters of Vishnu Parva, chapter 25 to 42, and of his vast epic Sri Mahabharata. Swayam Bhagavan Shri Krishna has given very valuable and fundamental instructions to his eternal associate and dear friend Arjuna for the benefit of all human beings, to help them cross the ocean of material existence and attain his lotus feet. To enable deluded conditioned souls like us to pass beyond the delusion of the external material energy Maya, he made his eternal associate Arjuna become as if enchanted by Maya so that he would ask questions that correspond to the various eligibilities of the deluded living entities. Shri Krishna. Since ancient times, many commentaries have been written on Srimad Bhagavad-gita. Famous among them are the commentaries of prominent monists, Advaitavadis, such as Sri Shankaracharya, Srimad Anandagiri, and Sri Madhusudan Saraswati. Most people study and lecture from these commentaries alone. Some people conclude their study of the Gita with the following commentaries. The principle of specialized monism by Vishishtadvaita Sri Ramanacharya, the principle of the purifier monism, Shuddhadvaitadi, Sriman Madhvacharya, what he had to do? Sriman Madhvacharya. Furthermore, at present, some people also conclude that their study with the interpretation of political personalities like Lokmanya Tilak, Gandhiji, and Sri Aurobindo. All people, however, do not receive the good fortune to deeply study the commentary of the proponent of the devotional school of Veding and established by Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Sri Gaudiya Vedanta Charya Sri Bhakti-Vidanta Bhushan, who is proficient in Achinta Veda with Siddhanta, the principles of inconceivable difference and non-difference, nor the commentary of Sri Vishwanath Thakur, the crest jewel of Gaudiya Vaishnava presentation. The seven Goswami of the Sri Vaishnava Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, and the best among the followers of Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur, published in Bengali 2 editions of the Gita with 2 different elucidations on its transformation. Hare Krishna. So thank you so much. We'll stop here today. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Anyways, we learned some of the glories of Bhagavad-gita. I hope you heard carefully. Now you feel encouraged to recite a chapter or verse of Gita every day. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. All devotees.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, please can you send us the Mangalacharan for Bhagavad Gita as it is?
Mangalacharan for Bhagavad Gita. Shall I forward that to you?
Yes, please, Maharaj.
Yeah, because I will send a copy, okay, on Telegram or WhatsApp, okay?
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare
okay.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
After reading the introduction, I am also feeling encouraged to read Gita and teach Gita. So nice. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Ananga Mohan Prabhu, can you do Saidwani, please? Thank you.
Shishi Guru Gauranga Gadaripa Giridhari Radha Vinod Bihar Ji ki Jai. Om Vishnu Pada Stotra Shashimad Bhakti-Vidanta Vishnu Daivata Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Om Vishnu Pada Stotra Shashimad Bhakti-Vidanta Dandi Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityela Pravishtam Vishnu Pada Stotra Shashimad Bhakti-Vidanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityela Pravishtam Vishnu Pada Stotra Shashimad Bhakti-Vidanta Vama Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityela Pravishtam Vishnu Pada Stotra Shashimad Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityela Pravishtam Vishnu Pada Stotra Shashimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nityela Pravishtam Vishnu Pada Stotra Shashila Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai. Nityela Pravishtam Parama Bhagavad Pravara Shishila Gaurikusadas Babaji महाराज की जय।
जय हो,
नितिल
जय हो।
प्रभु श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्तिवेदांत ठाकुर की जय। नितिल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सर्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय।
जय जय जय
श्री गौड़िया वेदांता आचार्य श्री बलदेव विद्याभूषण प्रभु की जय।
जय हो।
श्री विष्णु चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर की जय। श्री
जय जय
नटम श्रीनिवास रामनाथ प्रभु त्राय की जय। श्री कृष्ण कविराज गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय।
जय
श्री
जय
रूप सनातन बात रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल बा दास रघुनाथ सद गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय।
जय हो।
श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रमन दास श्री गौरव प्रसाद बिंद की जय। श्री
जय
नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव सति गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री अंतरद्वीप मायपुर सीमा द्वीप गोधुम द्वीप मध्य द्वीप कोला द्वीप ऋतु द्वीप जानु द्वीप मोतरा द्वीप रुद्र द्वीप प्रकाशी नवद्वीप धाम की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपा गोपी गो गोवर्धन द्वादश वनत प्रकाशी भजमंदा की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गंगा यमुना तुलसी भक्ति देवी की जय। श्रीमती वृंद देवी की जय। श्री पौर्णमास योग माई की जय। श्री गोपीश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन चक्र जी की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल की जय। सर्व विघ्न विनाशकारी श्री नरसिंहदेव की जय। भक्त प्रवार प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। शारदाम की जय। चार संप्रदाय की जय। चार आचार्य की जय। अकर महाराज श्री चैतन्य मात की जय। श्री श्री केशवी जी गौड़िया मत ओता सकमा समा की जय। ग्रंथ राज श्रीमद भागवतम की जय। श्री भगवद गीता की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। सामगाद भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेम हरि हरि बोल।
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Ananga Mohan Prabhu. Thank you, Maharaj. Vansha Kalpa Tribhyasya. Kripasini Viracha Patitanam Pavani Vyo Vaishnavi Vyo Namo Vaishnavi. Hare Krishna. Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you, dear devotees, for joining today, and we'll see you all tomorrow for Madhurya Kadambani. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Dhamma.
Hare. Thank you.